My dad was killed when I was just a little boy, and it was with 4 of his friends, and it was a really violent killing.
I had always felt like if the Lord made it clear to me to go to the mission field, that would be where I would go.
I must have said it many times, Lord, if there's ever anything you want me to do about the Aucas, you'll have to show me. I don't know how or when or where it could ever happen, but I'm available.
I believe that all 10 of us were convinced that this was what the men should do, make a friendly contact with them.
Pete and I had been reading in 2 Corinthians, and in the version I read, the 5th verse in the 5th chapter said, "He who has prepared you for this very thing is God." I felt that God had prepared me for something here.
Roger always came home. He'd been gone many, many times, and he'd always come home, and I just believed that God would do the same for us this time.
And people ask me all the time, how I could forgive the people that killed my dad, including Grandfather Minkai, who I think was the one who finally did kill my dad. That isn't the way I saw them at all. I saw them as being the most special people in the whole world. I mean, why else would my dad have been willing to die for them, my mom go on praying for them, and my aunt risk her life for them? When I was a teenager, my sister decided that she wanted to be baptized, and my mom said, since you don't have a father of your own who's living, why don't you choose somebody who's had a positive spiritual impact in your life, and I'll ask him to baptize you. Well, Kathy immediately chose Chemo, one of the men who had killed my dad and Roger and Pete, Ned and Jim. And I thought, look at these men here. They're the same men who were here at this very place and killed my dad. And now here they are. They're spiritual leaders in our lives. And I realized if we let God write the story, He doesn't always promise that all the chapters will be easy, but He does promise that in the last chapter, He will make sense of all the other things that have happened in our life, even though some of them are terribly painful.
And the men wanted to give the gospel to the Indians. And sometimes I used to feel bad that they didn't really get that chance to see the gospel take seed in the Indians.
You're kind of angry at God, but you trust Him.
It does cause grief sometimes, but He will have compassion according to His abundant loving kindness. And I felt His abundant loving kindness.
The older I get, the more totally convinced I am that God does know what He's doing. He loves us with an everlasting love, and He wants us to trust Him.